Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. A diktat by Delhi's famous Jama Masjid today, banning the entry of solo women or groups of women without male companions in the country. The explanation or the rationale given in engineering. The justification was solo women come and meet up at the masjid and claim or otherwise recreational act. Now, what's the reason that the been banned for women? It is the male companions to restrict this activity. It is not an exaggeration to say this reminds us of a Talibani mindset. We all know what has happened to Afghani women after the Talibani takeover in that country. Now, we are being told that after an intervention by the Delhi LG, Imam of Jama Masjid has agreed to revoke this ban or this diktat. We await a formal confirmation from the masjid and wait to see when that board that announced this masjid is going to take. But the question that persists is India being turned by a few people into a regressive Talibani country, especially for Muslim women? Can faith or autonomy over what happens at religious places be a justification of such ban? We will take those questions to our guests. Let me first break down diktat being taken back. So, the famous Jama Masjids, women or a woman are forbidden from entering the Jama Masjid alone. That's the picture of the board. In fact, I would like to read that out for you. So that board says, this is through the Daftar of Jama Masjid in Delhi and there is an email address attached to it. Now the fact that such a board was put up in itself is quite appalling. Now the justification given for this diktat compounded the problem. The PRO of the Jama Masjid came out and said that women's entry is not banned in the mosque. Women come alone. Improper act or video shot the ban is to stop such acts. Restrictions have been imposed on women and couples visiting the mosque, but making it a meek point inept for religious places. Now, this is where the question arises. How is that certain activities have been considered problematic only for women and not men? And where is the masjid accompanied by males? They are going to do these activities? Are male companions basically to control female behavior? It's actually Jama Masjid though. It's a decision that has shocked everyone because they've actually gone back to a more aggressive stand. But at other Muslim religious places, battles over women's entry have been for long. Remember at Hazrat Nizamuddin, women are not allowed even till today inside the inner chamber. And the logical argument, justification which is given is women are meant to begin. So clearly they cannot enter inner sanctum anymore. Overall, entry of Muslim women into mosques and especially unfettered entry is a complex issue. Most mosques actually do not allow women in India, and if they do, it is in zone chambers. Let's just take a look into mosques. Indian Muslims belong to the Hanafi sect. Shafi sect actually permits women inside mosques. By and large, there is a consensus in the Muslim world that women need not offer prayers inside a mosque, unlike men. Most Muslim countries, in fact, permit women's entry into mosques. But in India, Darul Uloom Deoband, which is a very influential sect, has often issued fatwas barring women's entry into mosques, and they do guide a lot of people's behavior in India. The PLB, though, the Muslim Personal Law Board, which is often under criticism, recently had said that women's entry into mosques is not barred under Islam. So entry into mosques is a continuing fight for women in India, Muslim women in India, and there is a lot of divergence in what is the right way or not the right way and how it should be done when inside the mosque. The big debate that's coming up though is with Jama Masjid putting out this kind of a diktat to begin, even if they now revoke, is it not a
रील्स वगैरह बनाते हैं, डांस किसी तरह से नहीं है।
लड़के और लड़की ले के वो लेते हैं और प्यार मोहब्बत किया करते हैं।
लगता है कि ये देश भारत नहीं है, कि कुछ नहीं
ban a woman, it's totally Islam first of all. Coming to the masjid.
debate story to Governor of Delhi, Shri V.K. has reportedly spoken to Shahi Imam Bukhari of the Jama Masjid and has requested him to rescind this order restricting the entry of solo women or stag women in the mosque. And we are being told that Imam Bukhari has agreed to revoke the order, but what the Muslim must respect and maintain the mosque. Now, that itself that given to bar anyone's entry, and especially on gender lines. But I want to bring in my colleague Pallavi Ghosh, who's bringing us more on this. Pallavi, you know, it's a good step. The Shahi Imam has agreed and it will send the right signal, even if the diktat to begin with was quite problematic. And I don't think anybody doubted that this diktat will stand. We all expected that it will either be rescinded or it will be struck down. But what are you learning about the discussion that the Lieutenant Governor and the Shahi Imam have had?
Well, you know, at a time when we are actually talking about women empowerment and women have a right to go in where they've never been before, this kind of a diktat certainly did not go down very well, not with the political class and certainly not with the LG's office. In that brief conversation which the LG had with the Shahi Imam, and that's what our sources from the LG's office are telling us, is that the LG prevailed upon the Imam that this is completely unacceptable. You cannot talk about modernization or progressive or Muslim women if at one hand, and on the other hand, you're actually going to be stopping single women from going inside to worship. The only concern was there's a sanctity of the mosque that must be respected, and if that is an assurance which comes to us, then we certainly have no objections to single women going there and praying. So what we are being told by the LG sources is that the Shah has actually reached him all hands go.
So-called problem applied to women alone. But I do thank you, Pallavi, for joining us and bringing us the mentioned start of the show. We will, of course, wait for that board to be taken down. When the order will be rescinded, of course, we will, of course, wait for the official confirmation of the Jama Masjid to come in. To our debate. Swati Maliwal, Delhi Commission for Women Chairperson, who of course issued a notice to Shahi Imam as well. Shamina Shafiq, who's a former member of the National Commission for Women, Taira Hassan, social activist, Atikur Rahman, Islamic scholar, and Majid Haidri, senior journalist, all joining us on the show. Very like you Talibani mindset, you compared it to Iran. Do you believe that eventually this diktat, even if it is revoked now, is displaying Talibani mindset ultimately?
Absolutely, because I just understand today's day in Jama Masjid. Jama Masjid is a historical place. It is a place of worship. And how is it that they can even imagine that men and women have different rights?
Exactly.
Worship. If a man has the right to worship and to pray, why is it that the woman does not have the same right? It's completely. I think India it is they'll get away with any kind of a discriminatory tactic, which this one clearly is. It is misogynistic. It is completely unconstitutional. The Constitution guarantees women and girls the right to worship. And it's so bizarre. Why is it that after ages and centuries of existence, suddenly the ban has to be imposed? It is so whimsical. And that is why the Delhi Commission for Women, we've issued a notice to the Shahi Imam, because he must explain his actions. He must inform whether it was his own decision in a meeting and what's the basis of something so bad.
Exactly right. What was the basis for the decision to be taken and the board to be put in the first place? You now, let me just ask you, the justification came from Jama Masjid on this was, and some this, that women go to places engage in these acts which are not conducive to those places. They take selfies, for example, or come in groups or convert them into meeting joints. Now, my point is, problem, but why is the only on a gender basis? Can the restriction be imposed only on solo women, not on solo men?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you see, it just reflects what misogynistic practices they have. So they have a problem with Instagram reels, with TikToks. Why is it that they don't ban mobile phones?
Right.
They think that only women make Instagram reels. If you look at TikTokers, if you look at the Instagrammers, most of them are actually men. So what is the idea that only by just entry of women there will be some kind of, the place will not remain as pure, as the sanctity of the place will be disturbed by just entry of women. Entry of men. If they have a problem with Instagram and with all the other things, and I believe a lot of religious institutions in the country, they have banned the presence of mobile phones, because obviously when you are entering a religious place, there should be some kind of a dignity that needs to
Fair
be
enough.
maintained. There should be some sanctity of the place. There should be, you should take it with seriousness, but you can ban mobile phone. How do you assume just single this place, or even for tourist who's come who's single, and there's just foreign nationals who are women who come alone. What message are we trying to give? That what kind of a country are we? That we hate our women who are traveling single? I mean, if you have to do namaz,
Exactly.
and it is you can't restrict them. So it just shows the complete gender bias that they have, and they really don't think that women are equal citizens. And by they, I mean these few men of this Jama Masjid who believe that they are above God, who believe that they are above the Constitution, because it is exactly what they're portraying.
I think you've spoken strongly enough. You've set this debate very nicely for us, Swati Maliwal. I do thank you for joining us. Let me take this to some of our other members who are joining us. Shafiq, let me begin with you. Frankly, as I said, there was no doubt in our minds that this order or this diktat is not going to stand. It is as unconstitutional as it gets. But I still don't understand the thinking behind this ban. What does it mean that women alone cannot come? What? So if they come with their male companions, those male companions are not just their guardians. If they are their parents, there's some sort of a moral police. Then you're justifying the fact that men are supposed to be policing women?
Let me first for at all. Throughout the world, across the world, women are entering mosque, they are praying, even in Medina Sharif, women go, women pray equally. In Islam, women are equal citizens, human beings. I mean, this kind of dictator was uncalled for, and I completely condemn this. Now, my concerns are different. You talked about the thought process behind it. Of course, it is patriarchal. They feel that women are to be protected. Probably, when I say they, I mean I know a couple of men who have probably made the decision, and women are probably the people who are basically responsible for anything which is going wrong, which you see across. India, when it comes to any crime against women are blamed for. So here also, because there was TikTokers or there were Instagrammers, it's women who are supposed to be blamed. So this is the mentality. We have doubts about it. My concerns are different. My concerns are that when we are talking about women having equal opportunity to go to and pray, I was really proud. I'm still proud. Masjid is one masjid allows not many masjid allows women to go and pray. I'm sitting in UP and I can for that. So here, when you give such kind of a diktat, what happens? You are sending a message across to all those already who have very strong opinions that no, women should not be allowed to enter mosque, and making their opinions even stronger, which is absolutely uncalled for. Because even south, you go to down south, you see women entering mosque, offering namaz. So here in Jama Masjid, when you say, as very rightly Swati said right now, there are also travelers, solo travelers who come. I mean, Jama Masjid is historic.
Yeah.
And when in the national capital, sitting at the Jama Masjid, when the Shahi Imam actually brings out such a diktat, it gives a very wrong message across the country.
You know, fundamentally what is also problematic is, as you very rightly said, and I mentioned at the start of my show, it is a continuing fight for Muslim women in India to get entry into mosques. And they're slowly getting, into more and more mosques. And here is a mosque that is historical and allowed women and is going back. This is just regression of the worst kind.
Who are you to allow or not allow?
Precisely.
Islam has given the permission to women to pray, and they are equal. So who are you to allow or not to allow? That is the basic question that I'm asking. And besides, you are actually fueling the mindsets of those people who feel that women are responsible for any
I'll tell you why, Shamina ji. I'll tell you why this happens. It happens because the ones in control of a mosque or policies of a mosque are all men. Come on.
Yeah,
when they don't allow women in decision-making positions, obviously these are the decisions that will come out. Let me bring in Atikur Rahman on that.
Personal law board, how many women are there and how many actually decision makers are women in that particular body? That is also one question. And whether their opinions are actually taken up seriously or not, that is also one question.
Can I bring in Atikur Rahman? Atikur Rahman, I don't want to turn this into a theological debate because I know that different people may differ. But the fundamental point here is that in a country like India, how can you give this diktat? What are you making us into? What are you turning us into? Afghanistan?
Exactly, Shivani. The things are too deep-rooted as we are looking at. What I think is, with due regards to the clergy and the Shahi Imam of the Jama Masjid, what I think is they are what at FIFA Iranian team did, not singing the national anthem in consolidation with the women in Iran. So this is the testing of the waters by the clergy.
I don't believe that. Atikur Rahman, I think that's a little far-fetched. I don't believe that. I don't think Jama Masjid is going to ban women's entry if they didn't fundamentally believe in it just because of what is happening in the FIFA World Cup. Come on, let's not trivialize this.
No. Why can't the men actually, who are the decision makers, take the onus of the wrong decisions that they've taken? I mean, he should accept that yes, it was a wrong decision, and immediately he should actually take it back. It's as simple as that.
What does Iran anyways have to do with this? We are not talking about burqa or hijab anyways in this case. They've come out and defended their decision earlier, even if they revoke it now, saying that this is because women come and indulge in activities that are not appropriate. Now, you please explain to me, Atikur Rahman, are only women on mobiles? Are only women using mobiles? Unless your point is that this Muslim clergy and male clergy is afraid of women on mobiles and women using mobiles. They believe that women shouldn't be allowed access to mobiles and we will not encourage that behavior.
You are getting me wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
You are getting me wrong. Thank you. Allow me to complete. As Ms. Shamima said, this is anti-Islamic. The Shahi Imam do not have any powers to do it. This is misogynist on their part, even patriarchal. What I am drawing your attention towards is the Supreme Court is about to give their opinion about women's entry, a general women's entry into mosques. Now, what happened in Iran, what happened across the world related to hijab, these clergy, they are testing the waters in India.
I don't think so.
What hold they are having on the community. And they should be reminded. They should be reminded that you are only the representatives of the community. You cannot take unilateral decisions. Jama Masjid is, along with the religious place, it's a historical monument. Who has given you the right to take your own decisions? And that too in such uglier fashion of misogyny?
Can I just tell you, you are saying that the clergy in India is... No, 1 second. You were saying the clergy in India is somehow worried or afraid because of what is happening in Iran, and all the power to the women in Iran and the men in Iran. They're all standing shoulder to fight for what is basic rights of dignity and life in Iran. We all know what has happened there. But why is it that we don't take the cues from... No, 1 second. Why is it that we don't... The clergy in India will not take the cues from Saudi Arabia, for example. Saudi Arabia removed the restriction of a male companion at Makkah Masjid. आप उनसे क्यों नहीं लेते हो अपनी इंस्पिरेशन? आप अपनी इंस्पिरेशन ईरान से क्यों लेने की कोशिश कर रहे हो?
This is...
No, 1 second. Let me bring in Tahira Hassan on that. Tahira Hassan, what is going wrong with the Muslim clergy?
This is whatever has happened in Jama Masjid, Delhi. It is improper and gender biased. It's a foolish statement has been given, I will say, by the management committee of Jama Masjid, that they make TikTok or they dance. So only girls dance, only girls make the TikTok. I mean, this is really I will say it must be condemned in a strong word. This shows how the patriarchy is deep-rooted. These Maulanas, this clergy, don't want women to come out of four walls.
Precisely. I think that is the issue.
This is the issue. They don't want them to come out. They want to control them. That's why they ban the entry of the girl and women. But they can enter with the husband.
Exactly.
They can enter with the brother or father. They can enter. This means they are cattle. They will be controlled by the husband or by the brother. They can't go. They don't have their own brain. They can't control themselves. Boys can go. They can make TikTok. They can dance in the premises, but the girls cannot. Try to understand this thing that is deep-rooted patriarchy, and clergy wants to control women. They don't want the women to use their brain. So
Majid Haidari,
condemned, and they knew it. They are on the wrong track.
Of course, this was never going to stand. It was a matter of when and not if, actually. I was very convinced that this will not stand. But this needs to be discussed because it just, it shocked me. I think it shocked virtually everybody that such an order can even be given in the first place. So blatant. Majid Haidari, were you in agreement with this diktat? And what do you think now?
Well, Shivani Saiba, firstly, I'm a bit confused that if Shahi Imam had decided something, other pressures, what is the deal? Was it because of Gujarat elections, Delhi municipal elections? What is the deal? I don't know. But yes, every religious institution, be it temple, mandir, masjid, gurdwara, everybody has been guaranteed the right to freedom of religion, Article 26, which says the community can run its religious affairs of the institutions as per its own choice, without any nose-poking from any VHP or AIM or anybody ABC. So that way, there was nothing legally incorrect on the part of Shahi Imam to have done so. But you rightly raised the issue of women's empowerment in our country. Madam, women's empowerment in our country is subject to their safety and security. But unfortunately, we are living in an era where our women community is not safe. We have seen how that Hindu woman, Aradhana, was cut into 6 pieces in Yogi's UP.
How is that comparable to what we are discussing? Majid Haidari, I am not going to allow you to do this. Okay?
No, I will definitely do it.
No, what is the issue of safety at Jama Masjid? Are you saying the men who come at Jama Masjid then are responsible for not letting women who come there safe? Are you saying that?
Essentially, it was at the face of it, prima facie suggests it was essentially for the safety and security.
No, they didn't say that. They didn't say that. What do you mean by prima facie? They didn't say that. Statement of the PRO. And what do you even mean? Even if it's for women's safety in Jama Masjid, who is the safety? Why don't you ban men?
Will not bar the men.
No, women are not because of weak laws and our weak governance.
Don't try to act clever, okay, here.
You have been speaking.
Why are you deviating from the debate that we are doing? What does the Aradhana, first of all, it's the Shraddha case. What does the Shraddha case have to do with this?
No, it has.
Did it happen at a religious place?
Sushil Sharma murdered Naina Sani. It has been all the same.
What does that have to do with this, gentlemen?
It has to do because our law has failed.
Do not justify
Don't do
the
all kinds of
women's
random
case.
whataboutery.
Divert the issue. Don't divert the issue. Is it un-Islamic, unconstitutional?
कुछ भी बोलेंगे मतलब आप कुछ भी बोलेंगे डिफेंड करने के लिए जस्टिफाई करने के लिए
Men and women.
They will justify because we have a government which has enforced.
तो ऐसी बात है अजीत गिव यू एन अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं बोल दो कि महिला निकले
सुरक्षित नहीं महिलाएं सुरक्षित
नहीं तो
नहीं है
फिर यही बोल दो ना सुरक्षित कौन है सुरक्षित तो आप फिर अपने दीवारी में भी नहीं हो
सुरक्षित नहीं है
क्या मतलब है इसका एंड हु आर यू टू पुट दिस कंडीशन ऑफ सेफ्टी ऑन विमेन आप कौन होते हैं डिसाइड करने वाले कि विमेन सेफ नहीं है और उनको कैसे रहना चाहिए आप होते कौन है विमेन सेफ कोई क्राइम है तो मतलब मस्जिद में मत आओ रिलेशनशिप क्या है इन दोनों बातों का डोंट बी
women are not safe.
Oh, so why the men will take that decision? Huh? Okay. There is a limit to what you can say to justify all kinds of idiotic stuff.
Please lock men inside
Shamima.
the homes if you feel that women are unsafe.
I'll bring in the women on the panel. Shamima and Tahira both wanted to speak. Shamima, now this is exactly what I'm saying. अभी कह रहे हैं कि women safe नहीं है तो आप जामा मस्जिद में मत आओ. कल को बोलेंगे कि सड़कों में मत उतरो.
इनसे we need to ask कि किससे safe नहीं है. They are unsafe from the men. Please lock the men inside their homes.
Exactly.
Please lock every man inside their house. If men are safe from lock each
Shameful.
I want to say one thing.
Why
One point.
Me, please.
I told you, Shima, this is patriarchy. Does not want women to come out of the house. They want to push them within the four wall of the house.
I want to say something.
If you go to you know, they can control by the man.
No, that's what I'm saying. Majid Hydari, I got your point.
You're talking rubbish. In Islam, men and women, there's no discrimination in Islam. You know? So our constitution gives us a right. If the boys are wrong or they are seen, then girls should be pushed within the four walls.
Or man, can I come in? Anymore. This is a very clever way of shifting our attention from what the Jama Masjid has done. Their PRO was very categorical in saying why they banned. And the issue is, Shamina, you can continue what you wanted to say, but let me add to this. Just one second, let me add to this. Now, the reason also why, let's say, mobile phone use, being on social media is the issue. The reason women was ठीक है दाव के लिए जरूरी नहीं है घर में कर लो अपनी प्रेयर तो ये भी जो माइंडसेट है इज इट नॉट टाइम टू आल्सो डू अवे विद दैट द फैक्ट दैट women should be allowed unfettered entry into mosques.
This is what I was trying to say, and you know, in fact, if they really want to take lessons from globally, they should take lessons from UK, where women are allowed, not just allowed, but mosque is supposed to be a community center. Women come there, they talk, they exchange. Children are learning the Quran also, and also they are playing at the same time. I mean, this is how actually a real model mosque should be, where women, families can come, they can pray and make prayer a part and parcel of their lives. So women should be allowed, and this is why I'm saying this is a very great it was important upon women. Actually, the Imam of Delhi Jama Masjid should have an example. Other small cities or towns, mosques, that look, you need to allow women, because women when they come to the mosque, so they improve the community. This is
actually the intermingling freedom and the movement. The movement women want to curtail. So you can ban a mosque because they need to pray. But Masjid. Rahman, I have final 2 minutes. Can I just ask you, is it not time for the community? And as Shamina very rightly said, I've spoken to other Muslim women. They also very rightly tell us that it is still a struggle for them, a continuous struggle for them to get entry into mosques. Is it not time that this issue should be looked at? Community. Majid, ruk jaiye. I'll give you an opportunity. Atikur Rahman, is it not time that we move in a progressive direction here?
Shivani, this is a very, very long drawn battle. Orthodoxy has to be fought, and all courage to our women that they are fighting, and this decision was, revoked by the Shahi Imam rightly. But the things don't end over here. What we are expecting from the community leaders and the clergy and the Shahi Imam is they have to portray themselves. They are known to be Naib-e-Rasool, that is deputy of the Prophet. And the Prophet never distinguished between men and women. It was equal. Egalitarian society was the core.
But Atikur Rahman, I don't understand. Yes, how do they have communal sanction? How do they have the community sanction to do this? Community sunti kyun hai inki?
Nobody is listening right now. Mumbai has far moved away now. The Jama Masjid at Mumbai, the Haji Ali Dargah, the Mahim Dargah, they have all learnt a lesson. Now it's a free entry to women over there. Mumbai needs to teach lessons to some of these clergy.
Okay. Yes, Tahira Hassan, final comment.
That's it, yes.
I'm talking, yes. I'm saying if there's a problem of TikTok or dance and these things, why don't they ban the mobile phone?
Yes, that would have been a rational decision to take.
Control the sexuality of women, clergy wants to make the guideline. Through that guideline, they will control the sexuality of women. That is all.
My fundamental issue is, yes, you could have, if issue was that people are not behaving rightly at a religious place, you could have banned mobile phones. And you could have sent a message to the people, the visitors who come, that please respect the sanctity. This was a religious place at the end of the day. Secondly, the biggest issue I have is that you are saying single women are not allowed, or women solo are not allowed, stag women and stag women groups are not allowed. But if they come with male companions, it is okay. Now, the only justification for that is that then your male companions are supposed to be your hall monitors. They're supposed to be your monitors. And I oppose that view, because that then shows that women have to be under the control of men. And I will leave it at that. Let's wait and see when that board outside Jama Masjid finally falls, as it should, and whether the Shahi Imam will stay true to his word that we are being told he has given to the Delhi LG, that this so-called diktat is going to be revoked. I'm slipping into a very short break. On the other side, we'll be debating actor Richa Chadda's comments, dragging in Galwan on an issue that has been very sensitive for the Indian Armed Forces.
You'll face the similar conditions. Also,